There you are. Come on in. All right. Hey everybody. Today we are going to be profiling the Sound Devices 633 mixer, the latest arrival to our audio arsenal. The SD633 is a 6-input compact mixer featuring 3 mic line inputs on XLR plus 3 line-only inputs on TA3. Designed specifically for on-the-go field production and equipped with 3 high-bandwidth XLR preamps, the 633 packs a lot of punch in a lightweight molded carbon fiber chassis. And unlike the SD302, which had an obtruse method of navigating the menu settings, the 633 features an ergonomic menu system on an LCD display that can be viewed in all types of lighting. So let's jump right in and take a closer look at what this mixer has to offer. In this video, we are going to cover 3 main topics: general overview, channel settings, and main menu settings. And it's in my hopes that after going through all of these, you'll have a better understanding on how to fully operate this unit when the time comes to use it. So let's begin with the general overview. Tone can be turned on by pressing this dip switch toward tone and holding for approximately 2 seconds and releasing. To turn tone off, simply repeat this step. Pressing this same dip switch toward mic will activate the slate mic. However, I have turned this feature off in the system settings, so now it will serve no function if you accidentally press this. And hey, you can thank me later. The meter button will allow you to see all of your channel's meters. You can cycle through it until you have found the screen of your choosing. Since we are primarily focused on using this as a 3-channel mixer, I will probably set this so that I can see my main outs and the first 3 channels. Even if your fine gain faders are turned down, as long as a channel is turned on and has an active signal, you will still see that channel's meter bounce. Your inputs are located on the left side. Your main outputs are located on the right side. Panning for each channel is found here. Each channel's fine gain fader is listed here. Coarse gain or trim for these channels are located here. A feature added to the 600 series is the ability to turn each channel off completely. This is done by turning the coarse gain all the way to the left until you hear a click. If a channel is turned off, you will not be able to access that channel's menu settings. One good pro tip is to always make sure your coarse gain is set to 12 o'clock. You can always gain stage to your liking, but that will at least ensure that your channels are active. The other 3 pots correspond to channels 4, 5, and 6. These are the only pots that relate to channels 4, 5, and 6. And like the coarse gain pots on channels 1, 2, and 3, they can be turned off when not in use by turning them all the way to the left until it clicks. 99% of the time, you will never have to worry about channels 4, 5, and 6. But if you do use them, make sure that you have a TA3 to XLR adapter for each channel and that they are line-in only. Next, we're going to look at the PFL switch. PFL stands for Prefade Listen. This switch serves 2 purposes on this mixer. 1, to hear your source before it hits program mix. 2, to enter the channel menu. In order to enable Prefade Listen, press and hold the switch toward the channel number you wish to hear. You will see that each PFL switch is shared between 2 channels. Channel 1 is shared with channel 4, 2 with 5, and 3 with 6. So if I wanted to enable Prefade Listen for channel 1, I would press the PFL switch to the left toward 1 and hold. Make sure that your fine gain fader is turned down, or else the signal will still pass through to your main outs. As soon as you let go of the switch, Prefade Listen will be deactivated and the channel will return to normal. This is the perfect point to segue into our next topic, the channel settings. Going back to the PFL switch, we now know that holding it in the direction of a channel number will enable Prefade Listen for that channel. But how do we enter the channel menu? To enter the channel menu, you simply quick press the PFL switch toward the channel number that you are wanting to enter the menu settings for. And remember, if a channel is turned off, it will not let you enter the menu settings. For this example, we are going to enter the menu settings for channel 3. We know that channel 3 is active because the course gain is set to 12 o'clock. So in order to enter the menu, I will give the PFL switch a quick press to the left toward the number 3. We are now in the menu settings for channel 3. Once you open the channel menu, you will see a series of features. At the top, you will see the channel number displayed, confirming that that is the channel you want to navigate. Directly underneath, you will see the meter readout. If the channel has an active signal passing through it, you will see that meter bounce. Below the meter readout, you will find a visual dB readout that directly corresponds with your fine gain fader. As you gain stage your fine gain fader, you will see that readout fluctuate. Moving down and just to the left, you will see HPF, or high pass filter settings. Pressing this scroller will change the color from red to yellow, allowing you to alter the settings or turn it off completely. In the bottom left corner, you will see X1 and X2. They are activated by the dip switch directly underneath them. Quick pressing these dip switches, either to the left or the right, will assign this channel to either X1, X2, or both. X1 is aux1, X2 is aux2. Quick pressing to the left or the right again will take you to a pre-option, and once more will disengage the routing altogether. Since these are not typically used in our style of ENG coverage, I have left these off by default. Next, in the bottom right, we see the LR mix box. It is controlled by the dip switch underneath it. When the LR box is highlighted, that channel is passing through to your main outs. If not highlighted, then that channel is not. So for our purposes, make sure that box is always highlighted. Pressing the dip switch underneath it to the right will turn it on and off. Pressing this same dip switch to the left carries no function. Right above the LR box, and most importantly, you will see the impedance settings for this channel. The impedance settings can be controlled by pressing the headphone's volume wheel. Pressing this wheel will bring up a list of options. You can turn the channel off, but remember that you can also do that by turning the course gain to the left until it clicks. You have standard mic level. You also have mic level with phantom power for condenser mics and whatnot. You have line level, and you have line level with phantom power, an option that I do not anticipate us using. Once you have highlighted your choice, simply press the headphone volume wheel to confirm your selection. Lastly, to exit the channel menu and return to the home metering screen, repeat the same step that you did to get into the channel menu by quick pressing the PFL switch toward channel 3. So, you've seen the channel settings menu, but there's also another menu that you need to be familiar with, and that is the main menu settings. Here, you see the home metering screen. To enter the mixer's main menu, press the menu button located directly to the right. You will then see a list populate. Now, before we get started, I am not going to go over every one of these things. This is a versatile mixer that carries functions beyond how we use them on a day-to-day basis. There are also certain system settings that have been preset and should not be tampered with. So I am only going to go over the things that you need to know as an audio tech when out in the field. In order to navigate the menu, use the headphone's volume wheel to scroll and push it to move forward and execute selections within the menu. Let's start with power. As you can see, power is highlighted. In order to enter the power directory, push the headphone's volume wheel. You are now in the power directory. This screen is letting us know that the mixer is being powered by an external DC source. If you were running off of the 6 AA's it takes to internally power the unit, their levels would be displayed as well. To back out of this directory and return to the main menu settings, press the menu button. Next, let's look at inputs. The only thing that you need to be mindful of in this directory is number 3, phantom voltage. Make sure that this is set and stays on 48 volts, as that is what is necessary to power our condenser mics. Now let's back out of here and move on. The outputs directory is another one that you may find useful from time to time, especially 2 and 3. XLR L and R out. I have the main outs set to line level by default, but you can change that to mic level out by selecting each one, pushing the headphone volume wheel, highlighting mic, and pressing the headphone volume wheel again to execute. And if you do happen to make this change, just normalize it back to line for the next person that comes to use it. And the last menu setting that you need to be familiar with is number 5, Auto Mixer. That's right, the 633 is equipped with Mix Assist and Dugan Auto Mix. The interface is exactly the same as it is on the 688, so let's take a closer look at how to set those parameters. Upon entering the Auto Mixer directory, you will see mode at the top and input selection underneath it. Currently, the mode is set to off. However, the box is outlined. Press the volume wheel to highlight the mode box. Use the wheel to scroll and press it again to select that mode. For this example, I am going to assign channel 1 and 2 to Dugan Auto Mix. Once you have selected Dugan Auto Mix, the mixer will tell you that Dugan Auto Mix is active on tracks L and R. Next, using the volume scroller, outline the first box under input selection and press to execute. The box will turn blue, confirming that channel is now activated with the Dugan Auto Mix processing. Repeat the same step for the second box. Dugan Auto Mix is now processing channels 1 and 2. Pressing the menu button twice will return you to the home metering screen, where you will see 2 circles to the right of channels 1 and 2, letting you know that these channels have processing attached to them, and the same is true for the Mix Assist option. Well, I hope that you found that informative. However, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out via phone, text, email, tap on the shoulder with a 6-foot stick, whatever. I'm always willing to help. And as always, take care, be well, and happy mixing.